Welcome to the RPO Football Show, where we cover offense and defense. I'm joined tonight by Mase Rinney. You may know him on that podcast. They have the Power Mase podcast. It's a special program that comes together. There's a Mase in the background. If I don't get the answers right, he hits me on the head with them every time. So it's a cry for help, people. I'm going to need help. If you guys have any comments in the audience, please leave them in the chat. If you have any ideas for other future shows, leave them in the chat. Me and Mase are getting together again. We're going to do a mailbag episode in a couple of weeks. We've gotten a lot of questions, so I think that episode will run itself. What says you, Mase?
Yeah, for sure. It is that season. People are finally starting to come back around. We have 10 weeks until the actual regular season, or around that, just under. So football is closer than a lot of people think. Those people that are like, it's not season yet, it's not time. It's about to be that time. So it's time to gear up, get ahead of your peers.
I don't know if I told you this. I was on Twitter earlier. I was messing around with John Macri, and he actually found a tweet from Elon Musk, and he's like, "Show me something good about the internet." And he posted football's about to be on season again, and I posted like kickoff starts exactly today's 7/1 as we're recording. It starts August 1st, preseason. So we're right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm exhausted. You're probably sick of talking to me about the same players over again, huh?
Yeah, man, that's kind of why we're doing this. Me and you, we both rank, and we kind of have guys in the same tier, but they're not always in the same order, right? From analyst to analyst, kind of goes like popcorn. So I wanted to get together with you real quick, have a quick episode on who you got. Go down 2 to 4 player names that are position specific, and we'll just kind of give our quick thoughts and move on. Okay.
I'm kind of excited to do this with you. For the audience that doesn't know Mase or myself, you can follow us on Kelly King 49er17, or me, IDP Hunter. We're both rankers and fantasy pros. We're in the contest. We're both article writers. We're both, content producers. So yeah, you're right. Anybody who we'll probably have similar players but differently ranked. So this will be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure. I'll hit you with a haymaker first, man. Montez Sweat, defensive line 10, or Will Anderson, defensive line 13. Now, this is off of Fantasy Pros consensus rankings for draft.
Believe it or not, I have it opposite. I have Will Anderson as 10 going off the board. Mm-hmm. As my 1.10, whatever, and I have Sweat as my 1.12, and I can back that up. In most drafts, that's how it is. People like the elite upside guy. I mean, he's coming off a rookie of the year total. Sweat's a good producer, but I mean, give me all of those elite-esque players, which there's 11 of them in front of them if we need to count them out. I know you don't want to. I'm trying to shorten the show on this one, but Sweat is after all those 11, and I want Anderson ahead of him.
Yeah, he's kind of like I think you previously said. He's that you don't get an elite guy, you kind of go linebacker twice, and you get him as a consolation prize, hopefully, right? Daniel Hunter going over to Houston, that's definitely going to help bump up Will Anderson's numbers as well. I don't think it's going to affect him at all. I think he's going to spike up too. Montez Sweat did really good on 2 different teams last year. Dude is just a straight beast. I'm not really sure what they're doing with their defensive line. They did draft a guy that we like in Dynasty, Austin Booker. We talked about him before, but I'm not really sure what's going on the other side there. So, me personally, I'm going to take Montez Sweat just because I'm a homer. I love Montez Sweat, but I could definitely see
as a common like best ball sack heavy. Those are my favorite kind of leagues right now. Mm-hmm. As a common, I got 8 guys ahead. I got the Watt, the Crosby, the Parson, the Garrett, the Hunters, right? Yeah. And then I got the Bosas, of course, the Allen. Everyone forgets Allen, the Hutchinsons. Yeah. Depending how you believe on Mac, I wait, but I get Anderson somewhere in there, right? Yeah. And then you already know the top 2 linebackers will go off the board. So 1.10, 1.11 is where I get Anderson. I can usually get Sweat. I can usually get him early second round. Yeah. So that's how I valued it. They're close, but I'd rather Anderson.
Okay, for sure. All right, moving on to linebacker combo here. I got 2 combos for you. The first one, would you rather have Kaiser White as a linebacker 16 or your boy Robert Spillane as a linebacker 18?
White all day long. Spillane is a top 25 ADP. He has the potential, like I said on previous chats, he has the potential to break a top 10. Yeah. I'm betting the under. Gary Davenport asked me that. You bet the over or the under? I'd bet the under that he doesn't have the high production just because that front four and from they're going to be eating all those tackles up. Kaiser White would have been off to the races if he didn't get hurt. So yeah, I have Kaiser White.
Yeah, for sure. The Raiders definitely, as we talked about in previous episodes, have beefed up their defensive line, more respectively their interior defensive line, signing Wilkins, moving Tyree Wilson. But we won't get to that because we will be sitting here talking all day. Next linebacker duo. We got Frankie Louvu as linebacker 25. He's now in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah Usu-Koromoa, JOK, is the linebacker 26. Now, last year, Louvu finished as linebacker 22 and JOK finished as 21. So, who do you like here? Linebacker 2? I mean, I guess they're both linebacker 2s. JOK kind of used a lot more as a missile. I think I'd take JOK. What do you think?
Yeah, it's close. It's closer than you think. I have JOK slightly. JOK doesn't necessarily need a role. He doesn't need a green dot. He does whatever. He gets a lot of his numbers, like being that outside kind of guy, roving, tackle for loss. He's a tackle for loss guy. So the fact Hicks is there, it's going to benefit him for his kind of game. Louvu, on the other hand, can get eaten up. He's more of a pass rusher. So Wagner, I think Wagner hinders Louvu more than Hicks would hinder JOK, if that makes sense. They're close, but I got JOK ahead. Maybe I just like the upside.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, especially in basketball formats. You want a guy that's going to be in the backfield, like you said, tackle for loss, maybe sack scenarios. He really leaves it all out on the field for you, and that normally means points. Okay, moving on to defensive back. Defensive back 13, Tyler Nubin, rookie. Or defensive back 14, Jordan Poyer. Recently moved from Buffalo to Miami.
So Fantasy Pros got them that high? Jeez, what are they doing, man?
Yeah, I'll look right now. Maybe I'm tripping. That's where
I don't know, but that's not – I have them way lower than that. Anyway, I can answer this. This is a product of one in the hand is better than two in the bush. We have no idea what Nubin's going to do. We know absolutely what Poyer is going to do, you know? So even though I like Nubin and I've been taking him higher than I should, I'm probably going Poyer.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. All right. I misspoke. Tyler Nubin is at the bottom of tier 4 at 40, and you got Jordan Poyer at 22. I don't know where I got those numbers from, man. My bad.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
So
would you rather take the guy
that's where I'd have him.
Okay. Would you rather take the guy that's moving off injury earlier, or would you rather take the rookie that's moving into a system with an offense that is not good?
So I don't mess with rookies too much. I don't. Now, as a strategy, I may draft one.
Yeah.
And I may watch him ball out because he's going to get picked on first couple weeks, and I'll probably trade him. You know,
right.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Nubin. I think he will do well, but I can't put him in the outside the 40. I can't.
Yeah.
With Poyer, I know what he can do. What's the problem on him? He's old.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's still Poyer. I usually target guys like that later. Yeah. So give me Poyer, and I know he'll be available later in drafts than Nubin will because he's the fresh. He's the fresh car, the new car smell. You know.
yeah, for sure. Okay, we'll stay at defensive back. We'll go defensive back. What's that?
I hate defensive back.
I know. Last one, I promise. Last one. We'll do it real quick. Defensive back 27, Rayshon Jenkins, or defensive back 21, Talanoa Hufanga.
Ooh, so we know the only reason this is a conversation is because Hufanga had the injury, you know?
Yeah.
I like Jenkins in a possible tackle role. You asked me between the two, I'm taking Hufanga, and I'm going to wait it out.
Okay. Yeah, now it's hard. I want to like Hufanga. He's a closer. He definitely gets you those spike weeks. It's just tough because you don't know if he's going to be on the field. Moving on to linebacker, we have EJ Speed at linebacker 21.
Ooh, that's way too low, but okay.
Okay, or Quincy Williams as linebacker 18.
Oh man, hey, you know it'd be a fun episode. Who would you rather over Speed? Quincy. It's kind of hard to bet against Quincy, man. It really is. I like EJ Speed a lot of places, and he's cheap, but I can't put him over LB1 types, not yet anyway. So yeah, it's Quincy all day long. Who else do you got? Give me another one. With EJ
I got
Speed.
two defensive linemen right here. Defensive lineman 52, Christian Barrymore. Defensive lineman 53, Javon Hargrave.
Barmore. Barmore had a good year, man. A lot of people pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Hargrave, I'm actually punting a little bit just because there's so much goodness on 49ers.
Yeah, there is. Hargrave did have kind of like a Quincy Williams kind of season, not productivity-wise, but just like kind of lack of sacks, the lack of I don't want to say presence. Like he's still presence on the line, but for IDP, it's definitely Nick Bosa in San Francisco, right? Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm kind of punting. I'm punting Barmore in a lot of places. If you look at Barmore, man, he had an 8.5 sack season, dude.
Great.
Give me him.
As a defensive tackle, I mean, if you're on true position weight, that's the name that you want to get. If he's falling through the cracks in it, you're like, let me get him real quick. Also, Matthew Judon, you talked about Gary Davenport. He did just drop an article on, I can't remember which site because he writes for so many, but he was shouting out him too. So I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, sorry. Okay, moving on. Who do you think is more of a sleeper out of these three names? Okay. So I told you that was the last time we talked about defensive backs. I'm sorry, I lied to you. I'm a horrible person, all right? Defensive back 73, Trevon Moehrig for the Raiders. Defensive back Justin Simmons, who is a free agent.
Yeah.
Defensive back 48, Xavier Woods, Carolina.
So let me piece that out. Woods is your last one. That's your last desperation. I told you I got him in the 80th round. He's a really good actual player. He just doesn't produce. Moehrig, I like as a waiver wire claim. Your answer is Simmons. Simmons, all he needs is a team. He's going to go somewhere. He's going to blow it up. The only reason the Broncos didn't re-sign him is they're trying to cut that cap a little bit. Yeah, Simmons is going to ball the heck out wherever he goes. If you can get him as your DB 50, that's a steal. Yeah. I think I have him somewhere lower because I want to see where he goes, and then I will probably plug him 20s and 30s based on a situation like the Ravens. Yeah. If he takes Marcus Williams' job, poof, he's good. But, yeah, he just hasn't signed yet. That's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a gamble, roll the dice, if you will. So, okay, moving on. Would you rather have Chris Barnes, linebacker 87, or Derek Barnes, linebacker 94?
Derek Barnes or Chris Barnes? I'm trying to remember.
Battle of the Barnes, man. So Chris Barnes is with he's the linebacker 2, Arizona. Derek Barnes.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking KRYS. I see the name a lot. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Honestly, for some reason, I don't know the Lions situation, but Derek Barnes is being punted right now. If you look at the depth chart, Chris Barnes is in play. Yeah. So one is trending and one is declining. If I was like, I guess 2 trains theory, if I'm getting from one train to another, give me Chris Barnes.
Yeah, I think I would take Chris Barnes too, just solely on the fact of they did spend first-round draft capital on Jack Campbell. So even if they do split time, I'd rather get a guy that's on a defense where the offense is still kind of, I don't know, I guess they're poised to do good things. They got the rookie running back. They got Connor. They got the rookie wide receiver. There's just a lot of buzz going on about that offense right now. I don't know if I trust it, though. I'm not really sure what his start rate is. How often
Chris Barnes is
linebackers. What's that?
And then that whole team, we don't know who's starting with the Cardinals. There's turnover everywhere, but at the 2 safety spots. So yeah, I'd go Chris Barnes just on volatility of that position.
Okay. Moving on to linebacker 61, Junior Colson, or linebacker 63, Devondre Campbell for San Francisco. Not sure if Dre Greenlaw, where he's at. Colson, is he going to get the job immediately? He's definitely a name because of the ties with their new head coach in almost at San Diego. Why can't I stop doing that?
That's a good one. So with Colston, it's either all or nothing. So you're taking a swing. With Campbell, it's either nothing or a little something. You'll
get like a good 6 weeks out of him, I think.
So like if I had the choice between a home run hit or a little bunt, I'm going to take Colson and hold my breath and take my chances. If I'm wrong, I taxi stash him. But Campbell, this may be his last 1 or 2. This might be his last season of run. He's going to get the early work with Greenlaw. Have you checked on that recently? Greenlaw's out.
I've not really heard much. We'll hear more as camp comes out. It's mostly just IU talk coming out of San Francisco right now. So
I mean, Campbell is a former All-Pro, but I'm not investing in that. That's a short-term plug-in. And like, okay, my 20-team league, he's my fourth linebacker, and I'm thinking about dropping him because somebody has I think it was Jenkins on the waiver wire. It was something small. But yeah, I'm not really high on Campbell.
Yeah.
I may have him lower than that ranking, believe it or not. But yeah, I kind of like give me the upside guy, especially when we're this late.
Yeah, I also like that. I think that the rookie, if he doesn't start in the beginning, like you don't want to draft a guy that you're only going to expect to be starting for about 5 weeks. I don't really think that's a good investment. What you want to do is get a guy that'll maybe wait. If the Chargers season isn't that good, then maybe they put him on the field more, and you have a guy that's just stoked and ready to go for playoffs, and he's going to really help you out. So I'd rather have that late season hopeful bonus than anything else.
These rookies, again, really good content. With Colston, he's got the playbook down because Jesse Minter was his defensive coordinator at Michigan. His coach, Harbaugh, was his coach at Michigan. So he's in a situation to succeed. We just haven't got the green light yet. You know what is an excellent article that I'm giving the green light to? The Pro Football Rookie Analytics. They're doing a promo right now. All of these rookies, they got offense and they got defense, okay? You can save 20% right now. They're calling it the early bird special. Save another 25 if you put my name in as a promo code, IDP Hunter. Additional 25% off. Check those rookies out. Colston's one of their higher ones, spoiler alert, but those are some of the guys that we are tracking.
Okay. Some defensive linemen. Would you rather have Lucas Van Ness, a defensive lineman, 80, Tyree Wilson, a defensive lineman, 95, or Joe Tyrone Shoyinka at 107?
Dude, oh my God. Those are some choices, huh?
Sorry. Really casting you out here, man.
I'll piece it together. I'll put Wilson in my top 100. He's going to move over to tackle. Great. Van Ness is probably your play here because, you got to factor in he's going to get some kind of volume. Again, if I'm going this late, I'm going to take the rookie upside I can stash. Mm-hmm. My other option was who again? I already upchucked it.
Joe Tyrone Shoyinka.
I don't want anything to do with him.
Kind of like the curtain call right now, I think.
The coach made him a joker last year, and they moved him around. This is his last year. We talked about Zaven Collins on the last episode, but this is his last year. They're going to get volume out of him. They're going to burn him up, and he's going to be gone. I don't want nothing to do with Joe. I really don't want to have much to do with either one of these players, but I do have Van Ness in a couple stashes because I want to see him produce. Mm-hmm. I did that article over at the Six Pack, as you know, about age cliffs. Yeah. Defensive linemen, like the top rookie in every class, the Hutchinsons, the Andersons, they spike, but usually defensive lineman is a steady production. We haven't seen the best work out of Wilson and Van Ness, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, out of those three, I'll take Van Ness and hold my breath.
Yeah. I believe, he's got the investment. He hasn't had the time on the field. We kind of knew with him it was going to be a learning process. At least I thought so. It was going to be more of a developmental pick. But anything, kind of same thing with Tyree Wilson, though. I didn't expect him to get moved inside, but he was like 6'7". So it just kind of makes sense. And they do have good outside production, obviously, with Max Crosby. So they can kind of have the freedom and range to kind of float around the other side. I feel like more so than a lot of other teams do. Okay, I'll just run through a couple more, this guy or that guy, and then we'll close this thing up. Defensive lineman 16, Trey Hendrickson. Defensive lineman 17, Jonathan Grenard.
You know what's funny about that, man? With Henderson, I know I get it. I've been kind of fading him just a little bit.
Okay.
Because his stats are mostly sack heavy. But if he comes around to me in the second round, I'll take him.
Yeah.
With Grenard, I haven't seen his best work yet. I haven't. So believe it or not, I have Grenard. I have Grenard ahead of Hendricks. I know it's kind of sounds silly, but I think Grenard's in a situation to produce and produce well. Hendrickson, I've seen it up, down, up, down. Last year, that 18.5, that's an anomaly. I don't see from season to season being able to produce that. How did you have it?
Honestly, I think I'm taking Grenard just because I think Henderson will go before. But at the same time, it really just depends on knowing your league and doing that because some people are awful.
Look at Hendrickson, okay? 2020, he had 13.5 sacks. 21, he had 14. 2002, he dipped all the way to 8. And in the year before that, in 2019, he had 4.5. It's hard to sustain that. I know he's coming off the 17.5 sack season, but it's so hard to predict that. And you know what else is hard to predict, Mace? It's so hard with these trade calculators and all this other stuff out there. The big problem with IDP resources right now are these damn trade calculators. You don't know. Some leagues, some sites you go on, you'll have, hey, who'd you rather? TJ Watt is equivalent to Justin Jefferson. Then other sites you go on and be like, no, wait, TJ Watt's equivalent to David Singletary. What's going on? Check out this new site called TheIDPCenter.com. You have some of my articles over there. You got some of my my rookie rankings, best ball rankings, if you will, my redrafter over on Fantasy Pros. But check all that stuff out, okay? They got great content. They got over 300 different. They have over 300 different owners, managers going at it. Got quite a few experts in those leagues. It's a fun site. It's a website. I just kind of wanted to be part of a website again. Web browser. You can go get this stuff. But check all this out while it's free. It's going over under a paywall, but if you get on there now, you're probably grandfathered in, right? And another thing I love about it, Mace, it's players from all around the world. I'm meeting people from Serbia. I'm meeting people from other places all around the world. We had a friend from Germany. I felt great because he reads my work. Then I found out he reads Leo's work too. So they're just fans of the RPO network in general. Check these guys out. They're all over the place. TheIDPCenter.com. I'm pretty sure by next year they're going to be cutting edge, and it's cool to see websites back in. That's the future. That's the future. We're going back to old school websites like I used to have to do and go look at rankings. So that's them. TheIDPCenter.com.
Yeah. All right. I got two more for you. Both linebackers. No more defensive backs, and we'll close this thing out. Devin Lloyd, linebacker 24.
Ooh.
Or Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker 29.
Ooh, all right, that is a good one. So we're both looking at the question is, what do you think of Edmonds? I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Edmonds. There are some places that are predicting him to have the green dot. I don't know where the hell they're getting their data from. I don't think they're very good analysts if you think Edmonds is going to get the dot over our boy TJ Edwards. When you are looking at Edmonds, you're looking at a player that is going to go in coverage. He's going to do a lot of athletic things. So if you were to force me, I would probably put him outside my tier 2. So like a 25, 26 range. Okay. Now, Devin Lloyd's the opposite. Devin Lloyd can go in there and tackle, produce. But I think I got him in the 25-30 range. So if push came to shove, that's a hard one, man. That's a really, really hard one. My heart says Lloyd. I think the ranking says Edmonds. If I'm in a draft, I'll probably go the other way just because I'm not a fan of Edmonds. But I think the consensus would say go Edmonds, but I don't want to. Is that weird?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. My heart's drawn to that. I would go with Lloyd.
Okay, so we're in agreement on a lot.
I would rather vote for Lloyd than vote for Edmonds, I guess.
I'm not a fan. I have a couple shares of them, but that was before everything. But then again, we know the profile of these players. Yeah. See, the thing is with Edmonds, we know who he is. He's damned. He's stuck to where he is. He's in second gear, neutral, whatever you want to say. He's going downhill. With Lloyd, he has the potential to do nothing but produce and go up. Same thing with JOK. I'd rather those players with extreme upside than to be stuck with an Edmonds. Me personally.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and move on to the last one here. Alex Anzalone at linebacker or Devin White at linebacker 38.
I don't want to have nothing to do with White. I know people are ranking him high. I just don't care. I seen that, okay, granted, he could be the green dot, okay. But then again, Dean was groomed to be the green dot, and all he did is get hurt. So I can see that role changing super quick. I can see this being Devin White's last journeyman role, stop, whatever. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with him, dude, to be honest. Give me give me the other guy. I know what the other guy can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gave Alex Anzalone so much junk in previous years. He turned out to be a pretty good player when they give him a chance. So he's the he's the Alex Singleton of the NFC to me. You know, he get you your tackles. He has a spot. I don't trust Devin White at all, and I get why people are, but I'm not. I'm not doing it. So I'm punting him a little bit. I don't want to do it.
I'm taking the risk of Devin White. I don't know, just kind of that late. If I like to go linebacker early, get my edge. Obviously scoring dependent, but if I could have a draft contorted to the scoring that I like, I'm gonna go linebacker, maybe edge, then linebacker again. So if I can get him as like 2, then I get it. Like a 3, but he's gonna, like you said, it's a big risk. But I would rather draft a guy at 3 or 4 and get him to be a 1 or a 2 than just draft a 2 and then some weeks he's a 4. If that.
Those last 2 you asked me were tough because I know what the ranking or the consensus says, but I don't want to. My mind is telling me no, my body's telling me yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any one of those guys, if you're that late and it's your last flex, you're fine. I just don't. I'm not interested in whatever the Eagles are trying to put together at linebacker.
Yeah.
I honestly think the answer is going to be somebody else. I don't think it's going to be Dane. I don't think it's going to be White. We'll see what Trotter does. I think something else is going to happen. And that's a weird team, man, because they have a great front 4. Statistically, they have a great front 4. And the linebackers the linebackers in the secondary just totally let that team.
Yeah. Well, they have Zach Vaughn now, too. They drafted Ben Van Summer who plays special teams, and he was kind of – I know it was just the early workouts, but he was trying to hold green dot, third rolling guys in different places. They have stuff going on. So I'm not saying I think Ben Van Summer is going to get green dot. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that they are in a position to roll people around because, like you said, there's a lot of guys there that either have been proven and they kind of fallen off, or they just have not been proven at all, and it's time to put up or –
It's the same question you asked me on Kenneth Murray. I get it. Somebody's going to eat there. I just don't like it. I don't get it. Like, I don't want it. I kind of hope that somebody else in my draft takes him, and I can take somebody that I like a little better. But, yeah, when you're putting that late, I'll take the guy with upside. And, again, Alex Anzalone's not a bad linebacker. We gave him so much crap, but his numbers held up all last year. I was waiting for Jack Campbell to get the shot. And when he did, he wasn't that impressive in that Ravens game. He really wasn't. So he needs more work. Alex is going to be your guy for a while. Devin, I just don't know if he's washed or not. So I guess that's why I value it the way I do.
Yeah, I got Devin White just for the dice roll of a thrill of the chase, watching it kind of work out. I'm a Niner fan, so I don't want to root for an Eagle, but it'd be nice to kind of see him resurrect his career, being a former first-round pick, getting the Super Bowl's rookie year, having some success. Demanding a trade, just kind of the roller coaster that happened with Tampa Bay. A lot of players had problems with Tampa Bay these past couple of years, but then you've seen guys like Baker Mayfield do well, get the bag, and then Mike Evans as well never had less than 1,000-yard season there. So I don't know. That's true. Success to their madness, but that's all I got for this one, bro.
Heck yeah! I'll tell you what. This was a pretty fun episode. We got through a lot of names really quick.
Yeah.
Mace, tell the audience at home where they can find you.
Yeah, on Twitter or X at CaliKing49or17. I am a writer and a ranker for RPO Football. I have IDP rankings there. I have offensive and IDP rankings on Fantasy Pros, with Dynasty, Redraft, Prospect rankings. Hit me up. Let's talk football.
Heck yeah. And little news for you. I'm going to be on the Fantasy Six-Pack Power Hour. I'm going to be on there on the 17th, so you guys can catch me out there. I'm going to talk a little offense and defense. Okay, I'm going to cover the NFC South, which to y'all might think that's a junk offense. Well, guess what? It's good for IDP. But also, I get to go on there with boy Dylan Clemens, and that's going to be fun. So I'll get to jam out with him. And then in a couple weeks after that, I'll be on the Six-Pack on my show, and Dylan will be on there with JJ Schultz. So check us out over at the Six-Pack. I know you guys check us out at RPO Network. Me and Mace, we just swirl around. We just go. We're like nomads with this mace that's swinging in the background. we're like warrior nomads. We're like mercenaries. We go where the money is, don't we? We go where the kills are. You know?
That's what you got to do in IDP, man.
So I got nothing.
A lot of rollover in every position.
I got nothing to kill. This episode's over, so I guess we'll go back to our TPs. But we'll catch you later, audience. Thanks for tuning in. You guys keep watching, and we'll keep doing these. Take care.
Yep.